Okay. Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, and I'm one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com, where we help you to discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic and toxic relationships. Hello, Shastina. Hello, everyone. So we're going to talk about communal narcissism. Before we get started, as always, if you have any need for any help with anything regarding narcissistic abuse, head over to queenbeing.com. Lots of info over there. Make sure you check out the information on the support groups over there, the peer support over at SPAN on Facebook, Queen Being Spanily Official, and over on Mighty Networks, the paid version of a privately hosted support group. And then also, if you need help with coaching or group coaching, make sure you check out the comment section, or the main description rather, of every video. And there's links to find me if you need me. Okay. Hello. So how is everyone today? And let's get started with communal narcissism. So somebody asked me to talk this because they're dealing with it. And so here we go. What is a communal narcissist? A communal narcissist is like the do-gooder narcissist. Okay, they're the ones that are out there doing good, doing good. You're doing good. They're pretending to do good. Well, they're doing good sometimes, but they're not doing good for the intention of spreading love and joy throughout the world. They're doing good to be seen as the do-gooder. Okay, hello, Andrea and Shoshi. All right. People, what did I write here? So a communal narcissist is a person who is narcissistic. So they have narcissistic personality disorder traits, or they have narcissistic personality disorder. Whether or not they're diagnosed, they have all the other traits of narcissism. But the difference is they are seeking continual validation of their self-perceived grandiosity, their self-esteem, entitlement, and power through commitment to others, communal goals, and false connection or false listening to others within a group. So they're the ones that go out there and run, charity organizations, or they are, out there doing good. They're pillars of the community, so to speak, or they are the hardest narcs to out. They are the hardest narcissists to out. They are so hard because what they gather is a harem. So you may have, I know of one who's an AA leader, okay, and they have a multitude of people relying on them for support. They have an entire community of people around them, worshiping them, adoring them. They are the savior of these people. Okay, but in their real life, in their personal life, they're absolutely wretched to everybody that gets close to them. They have absolutely every narcissistic trait out there, and they abuse and manipulate their entire family. So they also have this false family, so to speak, this creation of, they're not really flying monkeys. They're sort of like, they're a harem, right? So they have this harem around them that supports their every word, that thinks they're the most amazing person. Now, if these people really looked, they would see the truth. But because the people have a need, they have a need for that narcissist, they rely on it. And it becomes another form of supply seeking for the narcissist, and very toxic. So church leaders, nonprofit organizers, yes, it can happen in all of these places. Of course, not everyone who does these things, is toxic or a narcissist, but you have to be careful. Hi, Auntie sent you. Hi. Thank you, Auntie. Hey, Pam. And Christy, hello. So yeah, Andrea says, my husband is mechanic and always helps everyone and kind of fits the bill. Everyone always says he's so great. Yeah, and so then what happens? Everyone says he's so great. So who believes you, right? We get left being the ones that know the truth, and the only ones that know the truth, and the only ones that see the abuse, and the only ones who have to take the abuse. Pretty sick. Hey, Robin. So yeah, they regard themselves as empathic sometimes. Sometimes the communal narcissist will regard themselves as an empath. I'm so empathic, right? We all, like, when we have high empathy and we know empathy goes beyond just I care about things, we know what real empathy is. Sure, we regard ourselves as an empath, okay? A narcissist can also claim this word because what they're doing is they're looking at their actions. I'm giving, I'm understanding. I understand people, right? And I and but here comes the other one. I cherish the status. That's what they say. That's what they feel. They cherish the status of giving. There's the status that giving gives them is what they're after. It isn't the connection. Just because they can read people doesn't mean it's empathy. They just means they know how to read body language and they know how to see vulnerability and need. And they go after it and they fill it up so that they can lure you back, lure people in. And yeah. Oh, hi, Katie. I'm glad I'm here too. Hi, Nicole. Hey, Mo Cowboy. Sunny day. Narcs do not do anything for anyone for free. And we're going to get to that too and how to deal with it. Okay, so hi, Carmen. And you guys, I'm just talking about this since for the new people in here, since there's a lot of new people in here. Hello, welcome, welcome. I do these 4 times a week. This week will be probably 3. I needed the New Year break, but we're back on. Okay, so 4 times a week I do these, and you can go ahead and ask anything you need for yourself as well, just like you do over at Angie's. I just come in with a topic and start going, and I will stay on the topic until the end if there's no questions. Otherwise, interrupt with your own questions if you have a need anytime. And if I miss it, please repeat it, because if once I get going, sometimes I don't see the scrolling. So that's pretty much how I work it if you're new here, and how it seems to work. So, okay. So communal narcissist, today's goal, 20 likes. Hit the thumbs up, Mo Cowboy says. 20 likes and hit the thumbs up. All right. Do it. Subscribe. Okay. So basically the communal narcissist is after the status. They're after, it enhances social status. It gives them an ultimate supply of an entire harem. Who would believe how horrible they really are if an entire community thinks they're perfect, right? It completely leaves the survivor alone in a world where they are at high risk of a smear campaign. If they make any moves to out the narcissist, if they make any moves to even talk about their own pain and abuse and suffering. So because they do smear. Okay, these are the types that'll smear fast. They'll smear because they have to. They have to maintain their status, and they'll do it in a quick and cunning way that will knock you to the ground. So crossing them is not the best idea. Trying to get valid, trying to out them. At this point, if you're trying to leave a communal narcissist, preserving your own sanity, your own well-being is more important than outing that person. If that makes sense, because right? Because they're gonna smear. This is the type that needs the status. They're not the type that's like, I'm so great, I could give but they are the type that needs people to absolutely worship them and see them as, godlike figures and the most giving and amazing, kind and caring person that would do anything for anyone. All right, they're out there. Okay. Hey, Cookie and Crystal and Carmen. Nice to meet you too. Hey, Sunny. Okay. And yes, it does, doesn't it, Pam? This is the thing. They're out in. You just have to be careful. Okay, so let's just keep going. Okay. I don't have a whole ton to say here except the reality. So what they look like. What they look like is a charitable, giving, high drive person often within they can be more subtle too. A covert narcissist that is also communal or altruistic. Similarly, maybe less on the gathering masses that the communal narcissist does. The altruistic narcissist might just do it in small doses. Like I knew one that would save lives. But he was very compartmentalized and very specific about which actions he took and didn't like the large groups. So communal narcissists will go after large groups of people and have a gathering, have a collection of people all around them that believe they are this amazing person, right? Again, they're after anything that validates their self-perceived grandiosity, their esteem of who they think they are, their high esteem of their self, not self-esteem, their high regard for themselves, their entitlement and their power. All right. They love to collect souls. Yes, they do. Bonnie, Terry says hi. Hello, Terry. And trust your perception of reality. That's right. You have to trust your perception of reality. The reality is there is no empathy in these people. Okay, you can see it if you are the survivor and you have a communal narcissist in your life. You know that it's like night and day. They are this person over here and they are that person at home. And total Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of personality. There is actually zero empathy. They are still game playing manipulators. You can see it the way they do things. So they might say, I rescue animals, and I rescued this many animals, and I did this and I did that. And people say, you're so amazing. And they say, oh, I just have such a big heart. And they go on and on about themselves, and then they draw it all back to themselves. You can see when people are manipulating, doing good for their own self-satisfaction and gratification, and you can feel it, right? Okay. They have all the other narcissistic traits, or the majority of their narcissistic traits, in their personal relationships. They don't spread it out to the community at large. What can happen, though, is they can gain power. I've heard this story of one rising to power within a small community, and she completely manipulated this community to thinking that she's this amazing person, and she's so giving and she's so loving and so trustworthy for years. And then what happened is, as the issues started to arise and people started to question her about her motives, because there were some things that looked a little shifty and a couple people noticed, she took the whole community down. She took it down, and in several ways. And it's a long story, but she took it down, and the whole community lost trust in itself. It lost trust in her. It lost trust in itself, and it had to rebuild from the beginning all the way back up. And then who do you trust to take that on? Because you've just had this thing happen. So yeah. So you got to watch these people. Okay. They are a saint in public and absolute evil at home. All right. Total opposites happen. And no one's going to believe the survivor unless they are seeing through it. And very few people see through it. Okay. So what do you do? Okay, so let's see. Mo Cowboy saying narcissists know the damage that they're doing to others and the collateral damage they inflict. They don't care about others. No, they're there for their own payoff. They're there for, somebody said it earlier, it's about the currency, right? They're there, the stakes are high. All right. Robin is saying this is what's the latest? What do you? Yeah. All right. And also, again, if anyone has any questions about their own story, issues, anything, any topic, go ahead and start. I don't have a whole lot to say here on this. I just wanted to talk about it because somebody asked what it was and how it relates to what we talk about. Okay, so how do you deal with them? How do you deal with them if they're not, say they're not your primary narcissist? How do you want to call that? Say they're not your abuser, okay, but they're in your life. How do you deal with them? You don't. Right? Obviously, right? No contact if they are. If you're leaving one, no contact as clean as you can. Almost making them think that you are like it's just so sad. You know, there's no drama around it. It's just so sad that they couldn't work out with you, because, you know, just making it so that it keeps them from reacting in a large way where they smear you. If they start getting scared that you see the mask is slipped, they cannot have their harem know the truth. They can't. That mask, they are experts at keeping that mask on in public. If they see that you're going to share information about them or anything like that as you're leaving, the smear will start. Okay, so be careful if you're leaving them, because they have a harem. They don't have like 3 or 4 friends. They have a community that backs them. And it can be really hard on survivors when they leave this. So it's better to just have your own support system outside of them that is unrelated to them and unrelated to their life, and make a clean break and get away with no contact as quick as you can. All right. What are we saying here? The collateral damage is immense, isn't it? I know exactly how to deal with them. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hello, between narcs will tell you not to tell anyone about their abusive behavior. Exactly. They will. And a communal narcissist, remember, they have a masses of people around them. They have a community who thinks they're the most amazing thing. There's, best thing since sliced bread, right? They are so giving. They're so generous. Why would that person say something about them? They must be crazy, So you got to remember, they've got it perfectly lined up where they can, and I've seen them smear even their own children, who've done nothing, who are still trying to maintain relationship with the narcissist, and they'll still smear. Often they'll smear to play victim to their harem, so that they've already established that you're crazy, right? So leaving them is as clean as you can, as cut and dry, with as little back and forth. Let's see. I have no contact with my narcissistic parents since 10 years now, but it still hurts deep inside. Do you know how to heal? Nicole, working on your inner child, on healing your inner child. If you're not in therapy, that's something a therapist can help with. Coaching can help with that too. There are a lot of exercises that you can do to work on finding the voice of your inner child, on supporting yourself in that way, focusing on your life in the present moment versus listening to the dialogues in your head that are bringing you back to your past, understanding the beliefs that you have that were programmed into you, and realizing you're not your programming. You can change your programming. Is it easy? No, none of this is easy. Okay. None of it's easy. It is a journey, and it's self-discovery, and it becomes fun when you get going, but it's not easy in the beginning, and that's okay. Okay. It's just not for anyone. So, keeping on a path of focusing on what you want for your life versus what you believe because of what was put in your head. Does that make sense? If you don't want to believe you're worthless, then believe you're worth something. How do you do that? You really, there's several ways. Affirmations. In coaching, I do a lot of NLP exercises to help people gain perspective on the views that they have of themselves. So that's another way. Therapy, making that a priority, making yourself a priority, that you will recover from that. You're not going to recover from this. You will thrive even though. Okay, this will always be part of your past. It does not need to be part of your future, and it can stop being part of now, right? Learning to live mindfully in the moment helps, because right now it's all okay, right? Even if right now isn't okay, a second later might be, and then it's a new right now, right? So learning to be present right now keeps us from flying backwards. A lot of anxiety and depression comes from looking back, right? It comes from hanging on to what we were taught that wasn't. If you think about it, you have a toxic person teaching you something. Logically, why would you believe it? You wouldn't, but you can't help it, because that's how beliefs work. So, setting new beliefs, creating new beliefs. It's a process. There's some answers. Okay. I hope that helped. Self-care. Go watch my self-care videos. I have a bunch of them that might help. There's a whole lot of videos on here, if you're new, that have a lot of information on stuff just like that. Okay. Morgan, hi. You have strange relationship with his mother. Wait, Say more about that if you like. Oh, I am terrible with the scrolling. You guys are awesome. You're talking a lot, but it's making me have to find you. Okay. Let's see. Christy, randomly text to my ex who claims he blocks me. I ask him if I am still blocked, and add a smiley face. I'm not blocked. A message would say delivered, so I'm annoying him. Careful, Christy. You are the slippery slope of trauma bonds when we re-engage. We think we can. Not saying it's going to happen, but we think we can withstand it. We think it's nothing, but it's chemically and energetically keeping a bond, keeping the trauma bonds going. It can reinstate the feelings of the love bomb and the devalue, only even if you're the one in control of it. Does that make sense? It can perpetuate more trauma bonding. It'll look different, but it's still there, because ideally we can these people don't exist anymore, right? We can become indifferent. So be careful with that, just for yourself, okay? Hi, Jen. Let's see, what do we got here? They charm the community, so if you retaliate and vent to someone, you might be venting to a flying monkey. Well, and that's the thing. You're venting to a whole bunch of flying monkeys who don't know they're flying monkeys. Anyone you vent to within their community, any leak that comes out, we'll get back to them, because people don't understand. Like, they may innocently say something like, I'm sorry, you and your spouse are having trouble. It sounds like they're really upset about things. Innocently, right? Thinking because this person comes off as so compassionate, you think you can talk to them. They're such good listeners. What they're doing is listening for info. They're not really listening. Okay. Yes, mine played the victim card every time. Oh yeah. It's messed up to wish you could go back to seeing them and how you used to. I know it's better to see them for what they are, but it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, Plynn. Hello. It is heartbreaking. Sometimes we have to let our hearts break. Crack them wide open, let them break. Feel the grief we need to feel, and heal. It helps us to see reality when we don't chase away the grief by empathizing with the narcissist or trying to look for their potential. We are people often that can see great potential in anyone. And so, and when we're in a relationship, of course, we see the potential of that relationship, or we wouldn't be there, right? So yes, it's totally heartbreaking. It's also the trauma bonding, right? Well, go watch the trauma bonding video. It's a long explanation, but the trauma bonds keep us in the state of cognitive dissonance, which is kind of what you're describing there. And you're saying it, it's better to see them for what they are. We have to see them for what they are. It's not only better, it's imperative. You have to see the reality. Here's the thing, in a healthy relationship, seeing the reality of who someone is a beautiful thing, even their flaws. Okay. So it shouldn't be a thing of it being a fearful, or sad thing that we have to see a reality. It should always be present in a healthy relationship, that I see you, you see me. We see the reality of who one another is. Okay. With a narcissist, we are always taking the accountability for them. We are hiding from the truth of it because it's the only way to tolerate it. It's the only way to cope. So it's totally, I think it's the number one breaking of trauma bonds. The day you say, oh my gosh, that is them. They are that. It changes the whole perspective of how you feel about the situation. So, and a lot of times that, like I said, a lot of times it's accepting the grief and nurturing yourself through it, giving yourself what you need versus going back to the thinking about them, which is what we think we need. Right? Okay. This person is escalated his damage to the point where it became necessary to get the law involved. Ugh, sorry. Different professions in the area are being challenged what to do with this person. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. He plays the victim, Carmen is saying, and turns around, lies, twists, and contorts everything. I think that is familiar, right? Okay. It's working, Robin says. It's doable, and I feel purposeful and accomplished and more positive. What is helping you, Robin? I missed it. I've been thinking so. Good. Sorry, I missed the gist of it and read the end. Okay. Robin says, I've been thinking so much about your talks about intentions for the year. I've set them, but some seem undoable right now. So I've been setting daily intentions before I go to bed every night. It's working, it's doable, and I feel purposeful and accomplished. We're more and more positive. I love it. Excellent. Yes. Love it. Okay. Sometimes the intention is, it doesn't need to be, when you set an intention, like, I don't know, name one that feels impossible. I can't think. Whatever. Something that feels impossible, but you really want it. You want that as an intention for your life. It doesn't have to be doable. It's an aspiration. It's not even a goal. It's like when you see an inspiring movie or you hear a song or something that inspires you, it's that. Doesn't mean you're going to have what the movie has. It's just inspiring, and it opens you up to the possibility of moving towards that. So that's awesome. I like how you took it and broke it down into smaller ones that are attainable so that you have both results and the inspiration. That's awesome. All right. Mo Cowboy saying, profound. It took me a long time to grasp that many, if not most, flying monkeys have no clue they are flying monkeys, like zombies. They are simply, well, they're not even, some are like zombies and performing for a puppet master. The rest are, if you think about it, if someone's only showing you one face, you don't know it's a mask. They're just relating to another person. They're not even, why would you dig deeper? You wouldn't. There's no reason to. They're not in your everyday life. They're just a coworker. They're just that's called keeping distance and being respectful of other people by not digging too deep, into, like, we can't know. I think as survivors, we want to know every single person that comes into our sphere and make sure they're safe, right? We want every single person that's, like, we want to know that the grocery clerk is safe and the bank teller is safe and the person I work with is safe and everyone's safe. But the truth is that's not our business. And most people that don't have to worry that way because they've not been abused, they pretty much go through life like, it's not my business. They don't think about it. They just relate to what's right in front of them. And if what's right in front of them is a pleasant person that's like super good at listening and charismatic and doing all the things that these communal narcissists do when they're within their little sphere of whatever it is they're communal about, whatever area, whether it be a leader of something or somebody that just gets in there and volunteers all the time or whatever it is. That's all people see. So it's not even that they're following it. They just don't, there's nothing to see. They're not being shown it because the mask is tight. The communal narcissist knows how to wear that mask and keep it on when they're in that duty. They compartmentalize it. They separate it from the way they really, when the mask comes off at home. Okay. It jumped. Okay. Okay. You speak your truth and hope for the best. With a communal narcissist, no. You just get out. Why? Why do we need the narcissist to know we know that they are? Number one. What's more important, our safety or some illusion that we're going to be validated? We're not going to be validated. We're not going to be heard. Everything is going to be twisted around. They don't even hear you when you have as much information as someone like myself or Angie has telling them. Okay, they won't hear you. And they'll in fact say you're just a know-it-all who, goes around spouting lies about other people. Whatever. They're not gonna hear you. So what are we actually looking for when we're speaking our truth? You know your truth. You speak your truth to survivors, you speak your truth to close friends, you speak your truth to people who will listen, and eventually that when the emotions calm down a little and you're able to speak about it from a different place, you speak it more openly, right? But when you're in it and it matters to me, I don't care at this point if I'm called crazy by my ex narcissist. I don't care, right? So I can do this knowing he probably sees them. I don't care, right? So it doesn't matter to me. But if it mattered to me, it wouldn't be able to do it, because if I spoke my truth, I'd be smeared, right? And it would hurt me. Does that make sense? So I think we got to ask ourselves, why are we, especially when we know the narcissist is also a communal narcissist and they do have followers and people who think they're amazing. We have to be careful the way we exit. All right. If I miss anything, again, if I miss a question, please just repeat it, or somebody alert me and I'll go back and find it, please. What are we saying here? Okay. Sometimes it feels like speaking our truth is just an affirmation to ourselves. It is. We want validation, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Okay. That's why we have support groups. That's why we have each other. That's why we have coaching. That's why we have, that is the essence of every group coaching. When someone new comes in, is the validation they receive. That is the number one thing that they get from the moment they hit the ground running. Pretty much everyone has some form of validation within the small group and with the coaching that goes with it. That's what it's for, is that piece to help people feel like they have a voice again, and their truth matters and their truth was real. And saying anything is what they're going to say. You're spewing lies, right? You're going to have your validation twisted on you, and it's going to hurt worse. I can read you the letter I wrote. It didn't work. It didn't work, and it was logical, clear, and non-accusatory. It was just the facts, right? Didn't work. I was crazy instantly. So yeah. All right. The narcissistic trap of stealing our lives sucks. I didn't understand what was happening. It's true. It's not a delicate departure when your own daughter, flying monkey to the narcissist mom and the narc sister. I want to speak my truth to my daughter, but now she's not listening. I know, it's so frustrating. It's like it's alienation, really, right? From your own family. It's terrible. Yes. I love Angie too. Okay. It is scary how many people are being abused by narcissists. And it's important that we understand it, and that different voices speak about it, so that we have different awarenesses come from each person we listen to, right? And from, it's important we gain awareness and we get our healing underway with this stuff. Okay. Okay, so another thing about when you're dealing with a communal narcissist is what to do if they are not your partner. If you spot it, because we're looking, right? We are more awake to this stuff, and we are looking, and we can see it. We say, that person is not doing this for the right reasons. They are always about themselves. They're just wanting the status. They're only giving because it makes them look good. Toxic. If there's someone at work, say you work with one, and like it's a boss or something, what do? Well, you nod, you agree, you smile, and you walk away, and you keep your nose down, and you don't become a target by making yourself important in any way. You just, it's frustrating. They exist. We have to coexist with them. That's frustrating. And dealing with them is seriously, obviously, the best way to deal with a narcissist is don't deal with a narcissist if you have no choice. Right? Okay. So another thing, somebody talked about currency, about dealing with them and knowing the currency, knowing what it is you want from the situation. Say they're not your partner, but there's someone you have to deal with. What if they're a church leader and others don't know? You have there's nothing you can do. You can't, if you go on you're going to be scapegoated. Okay. If you go on the attack or if you go on the exposure route, you're going to be scapegoated. Ask me how I know. Okay. You are going to be scapegoated. There will be maybe 3 people in 30 that believe you. That's just a made up number. But there will be a very small portion of people who go, oh, yeah, I see it too. But you know what they'll say? I see it too, but whatever. It's what people think. That's how they think. They don't understand the scope of narcissism. They don't understand the abuse that goes on at home. They don't understand the manipulation. You get on the wrong side of that church leader, you are going to be scapegoated and you are going to be singled out, and it will be basically a witch hunt, all right, against you. So it's awful, right? What do? Change churches? That's what I would do. I would leave. And when enough people leave, enough good people leave somewhere and go somewhere else, people who are in charge of them might wonder what's going on. And then, I mean, that's, if you're asked, I guess I'd answer by someone that was questioning it. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful because they hang on to that status like anything. That is their main source of supply, other than the abusive supply that they give in their home lives. That's their source of love bombing, really. Okay, that's their love bomb supply. They get it from multitude of people. It's like having fans. Okay, okay. I said okay 7 times. Being scapegoated and trying to defend yourself is like shadow boxing. Yes, it is. That is how they stay in position. Turn over like they are. Well, exactly. And so what can we do except educate ourselves on what this is, educate other people on what it is, but how to do it. I mean, I wouldn't want to lead anyone into that unless they knew what they were taking on. Let's just put it that way, because they're taking on something that will be painful. It's painful to be the only one who sees something and the only one who's willing to stand up against it. You can do it, sure, but understand that it's not going to be a calm and easy thing, and people aren't going to believe you. Not for a long time, if they ever do. Yeah. You're trying to work out a new life because you cannot go no contact. A lot of self-care, Carmen. A lot. You can begin working on self even if you can't get out. You can begin working on how to take care of yourself. What kind of things make you feel better? What nurtures you without seeking it from anybody else? And then, of course, seeking it from friends and seeking it from activities and things that you can do. But really, what can you do for you to help yourself become strong inside yourself, to regain who you are? How can you self-discover who you are even though you can't get out of the situation? Little tiny things, finding joys in your life, things like that to help you, Carmen, to be a whole person, right? Not just under the influence of a toxic person and constantly living your life to manage that down. All right. They will do whatever they deem necessary to protect that supply, says Mo Cowboy. They are very dangerous. Be very careful, Crystal Mountain. Yes, be careful. I mean, really, all suggestions out there is to pretty much keep a distance, nod your head, walk. It's like a form of gray rock that is pleasant. You don't want to be on their radar. If they are not your abuser, don't step into it, especially if you're a survivor, because unless you're willing to, fight the fight, and that's not going to be easy or fun. And if you do have to deal with them, say you have to go to them for something, know what it is that you want from them. Know that there will be emotional manipulation going on, and stick to what it is that you want from them, and understand it's transactional. You're going to have to give to get. So if you have to smile and say, wow, you're so great, and then you get the thing, that's what it is. That's dealing with a narcissist. You play on their terms. You play on their terms. It's awful. We don't want to play on their terms. We want to live authentic lives. We want to be in healthy communication with other people, right? We want real exchanges. We want healthy interactions, and you can't have one with a narcissist. But if they are the one in charge of something that you need something from, you play it on their terms. Understand that it's transactional. They're going to want something from you. What they want from you is praise and adoration and to be told how wonderful they are. Sometimes you got to do it. Ah, right? If it's a boss, what do? Great decision there, boss, and hey, by the way, I need next Friday to whatever. Yeah. It's, we have to think how they think in order to manage it when you have to deal with them. And that's what's so hard is because you have empathy, you have, it's hard to think like they think, but that's where it comes back to seeing who they really are and how they really are, why it's important. Because then you're dealing with exactly who they are, not who you think they should be, or like not trying to, suck up to the narc without puking. I didn't say suck up per se, more think of it as currency. I need this information. I need this thing. I need whatever this is approved. I need whatever. I have to talk to them. I will put in this much of a prayer. Hey, great. How was the vacation? Yeah. Okay. Bye. It's fake. You be fake. Ugh. But really, what else can you do? That's only when you have to deal with them. And in a situation where they are far removed from your life. Because if you get in the radar of a troublemaker, if you become, they see you as someone that threatens their communal hierarchy, then you become a target of smearing or whatever else they're going to do. Or you become really interesting and a person to break and they're all over you, trying to lure you in. Okay. Hope for the day we don't have to kiss a narc's behind because it isn't being true to ourselves. Well, here's the thing: people are out there. I think it's important to learn to keep them out of your personal life, to keep them out of your family life, to keep people who have no empathy far away from your heart. But they exist within our community, and they function within our community, and we can't run away from everything, right? So how to do that without it being so painful is sometimes you got to be a little bit. You can't be real with them. You can be real with them and be true to yourself to a degree, but you don't want to let them in, right? So it's just keeping distance. Think of it that way. It's the artificial niceties. If you think of it like that, artificial niceties that you're doing to maintain this boundary right here. And that's it. It's boundary setting with, a little bit fake, but is that making sense? Okay. This is how I survived my last boss. It's unfortunately, when you're talking about communal narcissism, not with them as your partner, with them as a peripheral person in your life, somebody that's more on the outside in your life or that you have to deal with is what I'm talking about now. Now, if they are your partner, that's what I was saying. Get out as quietly and as quickly as you can, because any stirring, any pot, any waves that you make are going to ripple into the community that they have and they'll smear. So, okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about or any questions that you have for yourself today, go ahead and ask and I will do my best to answer and help. Otherwise, we're going to end here pretty soon. Do you think that there might come a time when society will be evolved enough to not allow narcissists leadership positions where they can do the most damage? No, personally, but maybe I'm nihilistic. I don't know. I no. Hi, Kaylee. And get in the groove. Hello. I think that's a tall order, and I think it's what a lot of people have wished for since time began, right? I think it's sadly, be nice, but I don't. Maybe that's skeptical. Sorry. Well, I scroll up to your last comment. Yes. Thank you for reminding me because that's what I need. That's what I need. Let me find you. Kaylee. If I can't find it, please copy paste it. Oh, hi. I've been wanting to tell everyone regarding intention. Is this the one, Kaylee? I've been wanting to tell everyone, Kaylee says, regarding intention, to read the book Leadership and Self-Deception. Easy read, life-changing. Okay, I haven't read it, so I don't know. All right. Is that the one that you were talking about? Staying stoic amongst a narcissistic smear campaign. If you don't defend yourself, you lose your own kids. It's hard. You have to maintain who you are, right, during a smear campaign and maintain your integrity. So hard. Okay. We need 5 more thumbs up to reach our goal of 20. Hit the thumbs up, says Mo Cowboy. He is the thumb patrol today. Please and thank you. Okay. Okay. Hey, Duchess. All right. Anything else? Anybody have a question or anything that they would like to talk about? Also, any topics that you would like talked about this week or next week? Let me know. Hit me up. Do I happen to accept health insurance? We do not. We do not. I still have my private sessions. I still have the special running. So it's 35% off. We haven't removed the coupon yet. But no, we can't, we don't accept insurance for coaching. Unfortunately, they don't cover that. So, okay. If greeters at a store have any extensive back, isn't it? It's crazy, right, Pam? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, but there we have it. Greeters, I always think it's interesting. I always say it's harder to get a hairdressing license than it is to get in some positions of power. And right, where you can manipulate lives. The topic, Darla, was communal narcissism, but I'm kind of at the end of that today. And the topic is whatever you want to talk about for the next 10 minutes or so before I'm out of here. And if you have any topic ideas, anyone new, I'm always open to ideas. You can leave a comment in any video that you watch, and I try to read them and write down if there's an idea for a topic and then get to it, or answer you right there in the comments. So anything you need, just let me know. I'm here 4 times a week. Let's see. We scrolled. Okay. Topic idea: relapse and dealing with triggers in the new healthy. I want to do that so bad. I just had this happen. Okay, we'll do it. Topic idea: relapse and dealing with triggers in the new and healthy relationship properly, so that it's not to ruin that relationship and self-sabotage. Thank you. Personally, yes. And we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. And I'm going to have to think because going through it. Okay. All right. Yes, that's perfect. All right, Kaylee. Sunny, hello. My ex-narcissist is holding my cell phone, and I paid for hostage and keeps saying he will send it to me, but hasn't yet. It's been 6 weeks. And I asked weekly, any suggestions? Well, you may, such a pain. The quickest way, most expensive way, but the quickest way is get a new phone, right? Wait for the Hoover and get it back. I don't know what legally you can do, any recourses you can do if someone has your property, and I don't know the laws around it. So have a friend just go take it. They're just so, they always have to have something, some door to Hoover you back in, don't they? Always. That's what it is. You could let the Hoover happen. You could play nice. I miss you so much. Oh, how can I text you if I don't have my cell phone? It's hard because you're in the middle of your own healing, right? So, I mean, were it me, I'd buy a new phone. Even if I couldn't afford it, I'd buy a cheap one, or I'd get a used phone and use that for a while and hope for the best, and write it off as a hard lesson learned financially, but better than having to deal with them. Cope with stalking. Is that a topic idea, Crystal, or a question? Oh, you're welcome for the chat. Let's see. I have a quick question. The narcissist, for so many years, has fed into our minds that we are useless and terrible people. I'm told to change this. We need to tell ourselves how awesome we are. It jumped. How do we convince ourselves that we are awesome if we are not getting the validation from other people, but it sounds like fake coming from our own selves? It is a process. Go back and watch any of my self-care videos or any of the gaining self-esteem videos that I have a ton of them on here, okay? Anything that looks interesting, I put the topic name on there, it's pretty clear. So go back and watch some of them. There's lots and lots and lots of ideas on how to do this. Basically, what happens when you have a belief that's put in your head is what happens is you have a thing happen. It's huge, a big thing that goes, bam, it's like a shock. That shock, it's usually, I can almost remember the shock of it's like a disbelief and a belief at the same time when that idea is planted in your head that you're worthless. It's the devalue. It's the first devalue, the big one. The one that takes it and you go, it must be me, right? The second you're like, it must be me, the belief is forming. Okay, so that happens. And then you have repeated patterns of that same belief being told to you over and over and over and over, right? That's how the programming happens. But then you also have life out there, and you can prove yourself negative out in life pretty easily, right? Any of us can, because life is up and down and it's hard and it's like bumpy seas sometimes, right? And we come up against failures. We come up against things that make us believe we're worthless. We have friends get mad. We have people be rude to us. We have someone make an eyebrow at us, whatever, right? So it happens. That reinforces the belief. So what you have to do is reverse that by doing it to yourself, by planting something so wonderful in your head and then reinforcing it. You have to look for it. You have to seek it. This is why I'm constantly saying, go out and seek joy. Stop trying to convince yourself, okay? You can't convince yourself. You have to change your belief. You have to gain perspective, I think. It helps to gain perspective on the belief that you have and to really see it. So right now, it's like all up close. It's like right here, right? Stepping back and getting all kinds of room around it to see that there are other possibilities. There's other possibilities that maybe you're not worthless. Maybe you feel worthless, but there's other things that could be real, other things that could be true. And until you do that, there's not a whole lot of room to convince yourself. And you do that through, it's like stepping out of the belief and just watching life and watching other people and looking at other survivors and saying they're not worthless. Chances are I'm probably not worthless too. Find the potential that you see in other people, start seeking it in yourself. Seek the potential without judgment. Okay, because sometimes what we do is like we can see a potential in anyone, right? We can see they're good. We see our good and we go, yeah, but take out the buts. Take out the yeah buts. Listen to the dialogues that you're telling yourself and change the dialogue. If you're telling yourself something limiting, anything that is stopping you from achieving self-worth is limiting. Stop it in its tracks. It doesn't matter if you've already said it. Still stop it. Say, oh, I'm going there. No. And then form a new belief. You don't have to go straight to high value affirmations. You don't have to go from I'm completely worthless to I'm amazing, right? That just feels ridiculous in this moment sometimes, right? You can go to I don't know who I am. I'd like to discover. What does that do but opens up a giant question of who am I? And it lets you discover your life instead of limiting you into this trap of you're worthless and wrong. Does that make sense? So things like that. That is what my coaching group is for. Okay, so if you need it, it is there. This is what it's for. It's to help you find your own perspectives and to change your perspectives and gain some skills and some tools and have somebody, me, sort of mirroring back to you who you are, your beautiful traits and where you're stuck. Okay. And asking you questions to help drive you toward your own goal. So that's what it's for. So check it out if you need it. It's in the main description. We meet Wednesdays and Fridays, and we just started. It's ongoing, so you can start anytime, but it's monthly. It's I talk about it monthly. So excuse me. So it just started. This last week was the first week. But anyway, you can join anytime if you need it. So it's there. Okay, that's what it's for. And I hope that was a few ideas. But go back and watch the self-care stuff. And I think that it's work. Okay, it's not easy. It's not like you just convince yourself. It's a whole lot of little strings you pull, and eventually the knot comes out, and there's room. There's room for the growth. Okay. All right. Feeling detached from people. Okay. What causes what? Topic, feeling detached from people, kind of become recluse at my job, and what causes that? Okay, good idea. Okay, feeling detached, detachment. Okay. You don't want to deal with anyone. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to not deal with, like sometimes, yeah, that's a good topic. Okay. Hi, Iraq. How are you? Okay. Did I miss any questions? I'm trying to skim through here before we head out. Stalking is question. Oh, he already does it at home, and I expect more divorce from 30-year covert narcissist. I'm planning on keeping where I move secret, but he knows. Stalking is, you put anything you can in place to keep yourself safe, and you don't worry about the rest. I don't mean that glib, and I don't mean that like, just don't worry. I got called on that the other day because I still told someone not to worry, and I didn't mean it like that. What I meant is, if you continue to try to manage every detail of a narcissist stalking, some of it can't hurt you. It just annoys you, or it emotionally triggers you. Worry about the stuff that could hurt you. Fix your life so that you can find some way to protect yourself in those things. Like basically it's what can you control and what can't you control in the situation. Start working on the things you can control, and know you're doing your best to protect yourself. Documenting things, getting proof that they're stalking in any way you can, getting restraining orders if you can because of the stalking, things like that to protect yourself. The things like them needing to know details of what you did when you did it aren't really, they're emotionally invasive, but they're less, I'm more worried about your safety and your well-being, until you can get away, or anytime with someone who's stalking you. The rest is like obsession and that weird obsessive stalking. What can you do about it? Right? It's the same. It's like treat it like a Hoover and go no contact with that part. But keep yourself safe with the other parts. So know which parts you can have some control over your own safety, and which things you don't really need to have control of. And it's not that you're not going to worry, but hopefully taking some action against some of the things can help you not feel so overwhelmed by the stalking. All right. And also, if it's anything worth reporting, report it and get that restraining order, right? Duchess is saying, it's hard to believe in myself. Thank you. It's hard to believe in myself, and I know I have to do it, and it's helpful having support groups like this. You do have to do it. You have to believe in yourself. And you know what? You do get validation from other people. You will. Okay? It comes when you have confidence to lift your head up and be present with other people. The validation's there. It comes differently. So you're not all alone in this. You don't have to do it all alone. And it's nothing wrong with needing a little validation from people once in a while. It's just that we have to know how to give it to ourselves first and foremost. Okay. All right. Is it possible because I'm one of the people who's whole-brained? Oh, I'm missing something there. Okay. Hey, Lise, I wish I could leave. I was smeared in the building and in the neighborhood. Oh, you rock. Yeah, I wish you could too. You hold your head up high and you do you, okay? You keep working on your healing and your self-worth and your self-care, and don't let that smear get in to your emotions as much as you can. And don't worry about looks. Just smile at people. People who look at you like that aren't worth looking at, right? Was anyone else told that no one would love you like they do? Oh yeah, and no one would ever want you. I was told no one could love me like they do, but that someone would surely want me. That's almost weirder in a way. Yeah, okay. Yes. Oh yes, Crystal. I think that's pretty let's see. Topic idea: how to rediscover your values and change them if they're not in line with your goals. I love it. Okay. You're not the narcissist. You're not the narcissist. That's to you, E-Rock, okay? All right. Let's see. Anything else? My Myers-Briggs type thing is always wrong, and all the description seems sort of fitting. Could it be because I don't know my own beliefs or values anymore? It could be that you're answering questions on the test based on what you do, not what you would do. And you don't know what you would do because you're too far perhaps from your true self and acting on that true self. You haven't asserted your agency, and you're not like perhaps fully your will isn't driving you because you've been following other people's will because you've had to, right? And you've been told how to think. So as you learn, yes, I think that could absolutely be true. I think taking those, it's like, what would I do if I could do anything? That's how I answer. If I could do anything without worrying about what anybody else thought, what would I do? That's how I answer them. I don't know, try it. See what you come up with and see if that description feels better, feels more accurate. You also could be a people pleaser who is very adaptable. And so a lot of the descriptions will fit because in different situations, depending on what's going on, that's how you would behave. Does that make sense? And so knowing your true personality type can be difficult when you're not able to answer from self, right? Okay. All right. How do you fix that? Start discovering yourself. What do you actually like? Ask yourself. Hold 2 items and say which one. Let yourself feel frustration and confusion and curiosity about who you are. Open up your heart to yourself and open up your awareness to yourself and discover and be frustrated with it, because that's how you discover things, right? Let the process unfold by going out and going into life in a different way. Find 3 things that bring you joy. What are those things? You, not what other people tell you. If you don't like trees, don't look at the trees. If you don't like flowers, don't smell the flowers. What do you like? And if you don't know, try things and be like, nope, didn't like that flower. Go out and find your favorite whatever, anything. What time of year is it? It's winter. I don't know, find your favorite anything and discover who you are. Have some fun with it so it's not always difficult work. Little things like that help. Realizing that you're not your emotions and that what other people think of you is not who you are either. Those are just things that happen. And emotions are how you feel about situations. But inside of there's you who gets to make the decisions. Even if I'm sad, I can find something happy like that. Okay? That way you are guiding your emotions as well, your thoughts as well. So it's a process and it takes time. So be patient and try different things. I think I have a video on self-discovery. I'm not sure. If not, I should do one because it's fun. All right. It's not all fun, but I'm going to call it fun. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out. Thank you for the new people who joined as well, and for my regular people who are in here. It was good to see everyone. You had the same question about the Myers-Briggs test. I fell into something that was not INFJ, and I feel like everybody says they're INFJ. What do you mean? I want to be an INFJ. I'm not. I'm an INFJ, INFP. So there you go. I got two because it's 50-50. So you don't need to be an INFJ. You can be whatever you are. It doesn't matter which. They're all good. Every personality type has its strengths. The only reason the only reason it's beneficial to know it is it helps you to know where your strengths and weaknesses lie and the way you see the world. So I know that I get really, because of the J, I get very, very far into analyzing my emotions. When I'm with another J, our relationship is all about discussing our emotions and why we feel this way and wonder what that means. And could it possibly mean that? And so then basically we've talked ourselves out of any emotion or through it, all the way through it. Sometimes it's through it if it's healthy, if it's not. And I do that all the time with hey, Joe, with every emotion. So that's the only reason I need to know that, is so that I can take a breath and just feel. It's just like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why I'm feeling this. I just am. It's okay. And stop the analyzing. So otherwise, every personality type has its strengths, right? And its weaknesses and all of that. So it doesn't matter which one is which. Am I supposed to answer the questions based on what I feel? Which is often yes. Answer them based on what I do is I ask myself, if nobody were looking, if nobody else mattered, if only it was my choice to do whatever I wanted in that situation, what do I feel like I would do? What would I do? Where do you stand in a party? I think, well, it depends on the party, because this is how my INFJ brain works, right? Depends on the party. Depends on my role in the party. It depends on what I need to do at the party. No, what would I do if I just walked into a party and nothing else mattered? I'd head for the food. No, I'd head for the corner. I'd head, I'm an introvert. I'd be on the edges, but I'm social, so I'd be talking. That's the natural answer. So what's the most natural answer, I guess, is how I'd look at it. Yeah, my therapist had me take the test to realize how different people perceive and react to reality. Thus, stop going crazy by trying to make sense of the actions based on my reactions. Exactly. That's how I use it. I use it because if I know someone is a particular type, like for instance, I'm close with someone who's an S type, and I realize that they are in constant wonder of the way my intuition works, and I'm in constant wonder of the way they perceive things with their senses and the way they see things. They have to see it. They have to see it in action, and then it makes sense. I have to feel it coming in a sense of intuition, and then it makes sense. And then together we have a conversation, and it's like this two pieces of the same thing. It's pretty cool. So if I didn't know that about them, I might not even be watching that. And so it does help with communication in others. And also to not react to others based on the way we think only, that there's multiple ways of seeing things. Okay. All right. Robin is saying, I've taken the test 10 times. Happy times, dark times. It's always the same. And the outcome isn't typical to survivors, but it's actually very accurate. That's right. That's what makes you so fun. That's what makes you so fun to talk to. You have a differing viewpoint and a differing way of thinking. I like it. Okay. I think what I decided to do on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, such a beautiful story. Okay. I need to head out. We're way over an hour here. All right. I will see you guys. Today's Tuesday, Thursday. I'll see you Thursday, and I'll talk about how the first topic, I think I'm going to talk about the triggers and new relationships and how to not sabotage. I like that because it's up and I have a lot I could say on it. And yeah, we'll do that. And then any other topics, like I said, if you leave them in any comments, I'll try to get to them outside of the chat. I mean, leave it in the main comment section. If you'd like texting notification of my going live, text me at 33222, put the word Lise Live, LISE LIVE, hit send, and I will text you about 10 minutes prior to live each time. Come on here about 4 times a week. Times vary, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I skip Wednesdays. And anything else you guys need, you can always find me. My info is in the main description. Any coaching that you might need, info's in the description. Group coaching as well is there if you need it. And that's it. I'll see you guys. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so, and the thumbs up, and I will see you guys Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.